First of all, good afternoon and thank you for coming. I'd like to thank Amy and Rick and Gloria Avilar, who I know you're going to hear more from really putting this event together. I would also like to, and I am here, to extend a warm welcome to Claudio Kini, right there, a relative of Father Kino. And he has traveled, he does it with some regularity, but he has traveled from Italy to be with us here today. Signore Kini, I hope you are able to stay in Tucson a while and enjoy what we have to offer.
Thank you very much.
So, a little bit about this, because it is a history that I don't know that many of us know. Outside the museum of Padre Eusebio Kini in Tio, Italy, there's a bronze statue of a man Tucsonans know as Father Kino. He's on a horseback with the horse leaning down as if to take a drink, and his gaze is forward, looking out at what lies ahead. I think this depicts Father Kino well, as he was a visionary who came to the Americas to explore the land and to spread his belief in Christianity. He was born Eusebio Francisco Kini in Segno, Italy in 1645. He later changed his name to Kino. He joined the Jesuit order as a young man and devoted his life to following in the footsteps of missionary Francis Xavier. Many Tucsonans do know this history. Father Kino is credited with founding 21 missions in Primera Alta, which is now southern Arizona and northern Mexico. And this includes, of course, one of Tucson's most beloved attractions, Mission San Javier del Bac. What's remarkable about Father Kino, and maybe what has set the stage for this valley from that time forward, is that he established these missions peacefully. He was known to have been an open-minded, charismatic man who befriended native people. The peace Father Kino spread now links today to his birth city of Segno and Tucson. Our cities have continued this friendship hundreds of years later. This bond has been expressed through donations of a beautiful bronze artwork. And again, some of us may have seen this, some of us may not have. In 1991, the equestrian statue I mentioned earlier was donated to Segno by the Historical Society of Tucson. So, in Italy, that bronze stands. In 2011, Alberto Kini, president of the Cultural Association Padre Eusebio Francisco Kino, and don't try to say that 5 times fast, traveled to Tucson and presented a plaque depicting the life of Father Kino to former Mayor Bob Waka, and it commemorated at that time the 300th anniversary of Father Kino's passing. When I became mayor, I placed the plaque on the reception desk in my office so that anyone who came into the office could see the plaque and get a little of that understanding of our history and admire the piece of art. Gloria Avilar, I know it was somewhere a minute ago, presented the idea of moving the plaque to a more public place, and it really does deserve to be enjoyed by all Tucsonans and Tucson visitors. So the staff and board of the Presidio San Agustin, including Rick Collins, agreed to display the plaque here at this historic Tucson location. And if you stop to think about it, what better place in the Presidio, which is the birthplace of Tucson, to display this plaque commemorating Father Kino. So on behalf of the residents of Tucson, I am proud to be part of this ceremony that in a few minutes will present this work depicting the life of Father Kino to the Tucson Presidio Trust for historic preservation. Tucsonans certainly should be appreciative and know the history and be grateful to Segno's son, Eusebio, who traveled the globe and made a world of difference in our borderland region. So I want to thank you for being here, for being part of this. In a moment we will unveil the plaque, but before that we do that, I would like to introduce a city council person who truly understands the importance of preserving history in our community and truly understands the history that we are preserving. So I would like to introduce Councilwoman Regina Romero. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate the little bit of a history lesson or reminder, if we all know, of the history that this beautiful city has. We are sitting in the birthplace of the modern city of Tucson. And I am very proud and honored to represent a very important area. This area and more than 4,000 years on the base of a mountain that we have found through archaeology research. The city of Tucson has been continuously inhabited for the last 4,000 years. And this land, the Sonoran Desert, when it didn't have borders, we had a continuous, beautiful desert through the Santa Cruz River and the Rio Sonora, which connect us through history and through culture, and where Father Kino really made his mark. And so the beautiful missions that he instituted are not just through Arizona. It's just not the white desert, the white dove in our desert, but it's also in Magdalena de Kino. There's also remnants of his work in Guasave, Sonora, and throughout Sonora. So the history that we share with Claudio Kini is really amazing. I'm muchas gracias, bienvenido a Tucson. Se lo agradezco, gracias. Every time that you have an opportunity to come back to us, please do. Muchísimas gracias por venir. Your relative, pariente, es muy importante para la historia de Tucson. And we welcome you, bienvenido, and we're very, very happy to be bringing this piece of history, really, to El Presidio. So with that, I don't want to bore you. I know that you're looking forward. I stand between you and the unveiling, but we want to thank you for being interested in the history of our desert, in the history of our beautiful city. And we should be very proud of what the city of Tucson represents, the history that we've lived in this beautiful desert, and how it connects us to Father Francisco Kino. With that, de nuevo bienvenido a Tucson. Muchísimas gracias, Claudio. Se lo agradecemos. Muchísimas gracias a ustedes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Io non solo ringrazio, raramente mi commuovo.
Not only does he thank everybody, but he is almost in tears.
Oggi sono doppiamente commosso
Today, doubly so,
per l'ospitalità che Tucson mi riserva. Questa è la quarta volta che arrivo in Tucson.
for the hospitality that Tucson has given him. This is the fourth time he comes to Tucson.
Questo grazie a Padre Pino che ha fatto incrociare la comunità di Segno con la comunità di Tucson.
And this is thanks to Father Kino that has encroached the city of Signo in Italy to the city of Tucson.
Questo era un po' destino della storia.
This was the destiny of history.
Grazie e che sia con voi non solo la pace ma anche la felicità e soprattutto la buona fortuna.
Thank you, and he wishes all of you peace, happiness, and good fortune.
Grazie.
So what we're going to do now is unveil the plaque, and I know Rick and Laura are going to find the right place for it. Oh, here it is. Oh, you can see it or not. It is beautiful.
padre segni della sua padre Pino, no? Sono i grandi del dia 15 marzo del 2000 l'anniversario del terzo centenario
300, it's, was it, 15th of March of 2011 is the 300th anniversary of his arrival to this country.
della figura.
I think only true 14-karat gold lovers of history would be here today, and I hereby give you all a gold star. Wear it proudly. Today we have seen a lovely and visible symbol of the friendship that exists between Padre Kino's hometown of Seño and Tucson, as some of us call it. 4 years ago, this beautiful bas-relief, this plaque, was presented to then Mayor Waka. And there was here Alberto Kini and the Presidente de Tayo, who is a good friend. ¿Cómo se llama? El Presidente de Tayo,
Cova.
Cova, il signore Cova. Bene, signore Cova. Bene, the Friends of Tucson's birthplace, and I see 2 members of the board, for 3 members of the board of the Friends of Tucson's birthplace are here. They held an event to celebrate, to honor the 300th anniversary of Father Kino's death. And oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. The dancers from Banamichi were here. Those Friends of Tucson's birthplace know how to do a good event. Anyway, this beautiful plaque was executed by Livio and Giorgio Conta. You are probably the first Tucsonans to learn this, okay? Giorgio and Livio Conta, we're going to write it down. They're 2 Italian sculptors who made this gorgeous statue that exists in Seño, Italy. It is gigantic. It is gigantic. And they designed it and had it made. And they are also artists. And Claudio was telling me, just as we drove over, that the man who sculpted this, who designed this, has now written 10 songs, 10 canzoni of Father Kino, 10 songs about Father Kino. I want to hear these songs. These are wonderful things. Now, remember, the first statue of Father Kino by Suzanne Silvercruz was given by Arizona on February 14th to be exhibited in the National Statuary Hall of Heroes at U.S. Capitol. That giving of the statue by Arizona to Washington, D.C. prodded the Mexican government to fund a second expedition to find Father Kino's skeletal remains. 50 years ago, they found his skeletal remains. And Claudio just returned from Magdalena, Sonora, where they honored that event. And there was 2 very important people from Tucson, Dr. McCarty and Dr. Fontana, who were involved in that. And Dr. Fontana is still here in Tucson. Kieran McCarty, thank you. I worked with him, I should remember. The ceremony, that prodded the Mexican government, they said, wait a minute. They've got a statue of Kino in Washington, and we haven't found his remains. What is wrong with us? We better get to work. And guess what? They got a group of Americans and a group of Mexican anthropologists, historians, you know them all, don't you? Yes, and they found it. They found it under the original church. And you cannot imagine grown men fainting and crying. You see, here's the thing, all right? Here's the thing, it's very important. Unless you find the remains, you're not going to have a saint. The idea of having a saint, right? Because otherwise they're going to have St. Christopher in Ireland, which maybe didn't exist. So the real remains, the beatificazione è
in corso.
So the beatification process, the canonization, is moving along. Say a prayer. On June 16th, the first equestrian statue. Listen to this, okay? Linda, are you listening? On June 16th of 1991, the first equestrian statue to leave the New World to Europe, from the New World to Europe, the first ever, was the statue of Padre Kino. Whose work is it? Who knows here who was responsible for that design?
Julian Garcia.
Ah, bravissimo, bravissimo. 2 gold stars for Alex Hammerman. Okay. So now there are 3 of those. In Kino, thank you for reminding me that in Senio, that statue is on the ground and drinking from a pool of water. It is so gorgeous. I wish we could do that also. So there's way more to learn. Inside, I have made a binder. It has photographs. It has history that you've never heard of. It has all manner of wonderful things, including a copy of one of the pages of Padre Kino's field guide, the field diary, okay? His handwriting. Thank you you're welcome. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. We have some refreshments for you. And even better, Katja, do you wish to invite this group to go further with you today?
Oh, I hope everyone will come to Mission Garden right now. We have beanie, formaggini, tantissime cose, lots of delicious things for you to enjoy.
Any
And
vino
that's not even talking about the Kino, 120 Kino heritage fruit trees. Please come. Oh, no, we don't need 15 minutes. It's going to take us.
Okay, so when you are invited to Mission Garden, Rick has reminded me, and really, Rick Collins, I cannot thank enough. The exhibit is in the north. Per favore, Katja, un minuto. So the exhibit is in the north room. Thank you, Mr. Collins, for all your help, and thank you all. And it's going to be placed inside in the north room. But you want to come and see it, don't you? Come and see it.